ball on the tee. We're set for football. And we are underway from Ford Field. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. They go play action here on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I almost see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A gain of 13 yards. And the Steelers first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
On first down, Curry. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Second and 9 now. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Oh, there's going to be a little bit of regret there because they certainly had the chance to get off the field here, just giving up a field goal attempt. But they couldn't get that stop on 3rd down. Now they have to hunker down because guess what? That drive continues.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Johnson. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
On second down. Going to have a first and goal as some good running there. Gets him down to about the 2-yard line. Knock it on the door.
Let's face it, when you have a guy who can pick up those types of runs and keep the chains moving or stay ahead of the chains, you're making everyone else on offense happy because you're opening things up to allow for a whole lot of different play calls.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. That was a really good opening drive on a number of fronts. 10 plays, very methodical, set the tone.
So you know right now, if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're on the sideline saying, okay, what do we have to dial up in order to get off the field a lot faster? Because both sides are out there for 10 plays, but one side comes off energized, and the other side comes off with some questions.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. A 10-play drive that time. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. They'll set up a throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
That was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
They'll run on first down. McQueen, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll try the left side. McQueen. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching, and there's another first down run right there.
First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
So often you hear that pep talks don't really work in the heat of the battle, but collectively, this defense has to say to each other, we've been on our heels this whole first drive. This is where we need to dig in. And they got a nice stop right there for a loss on first and goal.
Back at the 2 now. Here's second and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll look to throw on third and goal. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. A great effort there. There to make the grab. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. No surprise there. Third and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Extra point attempt here still to come. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Clock runs, less than a minute to go, and an entertaining first quarter of play. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
A try here for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talked about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. He'll look to throw. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The Steelers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw here. Again, it's Johnson. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, that one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Curry. A good rally to the football, keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now it's 2nd and 9. Now a give, right side. Curry. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. The Steelers on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. This from 54 yards away. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body, because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a 1st down.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Back to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now back to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9. They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Now the Lions, they send out the field goal unit here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. We don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, Davis.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. He'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the 2nd level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. 27 yards. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Extra point attempt to come here. And plays on that drive. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
First down now, but that clock rolling. They're going to look to throw. Over the middle, catch made by Driver. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll look to throw here. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Three yards remain for second down. They'll look to throw again. Johnson with a completion over the middle.
They've looked his way quite a bit, and in my estimation, as well they should.
Well, that's now 5 catches in this first half alone.
And he picks up another first down. He's been an important part of their offense here early.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. Back to throw again. He finds his man, complete. It's Curry. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And this one is right through. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for him, in with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our